We're starting from lesson 4, 400 must-have words. Today's topic is petroleum alternatives. Make sure you pronounce the word alternatives in correct way. And the first word in the list is constrained or restrict. Those are absolutely the same words. To restrict means in Russian ограничивать. And here is the picture. Here is the man who is restricted in his actions because he is chained. So those are the chains, and this is the man who is chained. So he can't move freely. He cannot move the way he wants because he is constrained by chains. But you also can be constrained not physically, you can constrain mentally. For example, there are certain type of people who are constrained in thoughts. You can never explain, for example, to people from Osh market, let's say the Big Bang Theory. Why? Because they just simply wouldn't understand that. They are constrained in their thoughts because the level of their education doesn't allow them to understand such complex theories in physics as the quantum mechanics or Big Bang Theory. So that's also a constraint in thoughts, or as well you can say constraints in actions. The constraints of military life kept Alien from seeing Private Morris more than once a month. So in this example we have two people, Alien, which is a female name, and Private Morris, which is male name. And it looks like Private Morris joined the army, and the lifestyle, the regulations of the army constrained Alien, who perhaps a friend of Private Morris, to see him more than once in a month. So basically you use the word constrain when you talk about the educational level of a person, when you talk about the lifestyle, like military lifestyle constrained people from doing something. When I was personally in the military, we were not allowed to smoke in the military, in the army. So I can say that the military life constrained me from smoking. Constrained from. Also remember the word along with the preposition, constrained from smoking. Okay, well, you can also say that the life in prison constrained prisoners from many other things. So basically you use the word constrain when you either talk about a certain lifestyle, or when you talk about some level of education, or some physical constraints like being chained or something like that. Deplete means to greatly decrease the supply of a resource or material. Basically, the word deplete is more often used with resources. So what resources can we have? We can have money resources. And here's the picture. If you have some kind of an unidentified health problem and you go to see a doctor, and doctor doesn't know what to do with you, just tries different ways to cope with your disease. And it takes lots of money, lots of resources from you to be treated. So sometimes a visit to a doctor can be very costly, and a visit to a doctor can deplete your money resources. Here is the picture that demonstrates that. There actually medicine is a kind of expensive pleasure for people, unfortunately. So also you can deplete in treasury, and treasury in Russian language is kazna. Let's say that there was a long war between two states, and that's greatly depleted the both countries' treasuries, which means that it decreased the resources of money that both countries had before they started the war. Going to a doctor can deplete money in your pocket. Well, I think it's clear with this word. Let's move to another one. Another one is contamination. Being made less clean. In other words, загрязнять, загрязнение, contamination as a noun. Как глагол, contamination means загрязнять. As a verb, it is to contaminate. The contamination in river came from the factory located just upstream. Maybe the future of our planet, unfortunately, the prognosis is not very good. Maybe whole planet sooner or later will be contaminated, and this is the picture of how our planet can look like if we don't stop polluting our environment. Pollute means загрязнять. If we don't stop polluting our environment, the contamination of our earth will reach the level shown in this picture, and that picture will be present everywhere. Okay, so contamination, загрязнение, and with this sad picture, let's go to another one. Dispose of. Actually, I have three pictures to demonstrate the meaning of the word dispose. Initially, the word dispose means to throw away, to get rid of, to kill. And also second meaning is to kill. When you throw something, some sort of papers into a trash can, into a trash basket, you dispose. You dispose of trash. Also, if you take batteries, right, and if you read directions, there are like sometimes in the batteries with the small letters of written directions of how to use the battery, you can meet there such phrase as do not dispose into fire, не бросайте в огонь. То есть это слово часто встречается на батарейках, на флаконах с дезодорантом. Dispose of, выкидывать, избавляться. Okay, and also the second meaning to dispose is to kill, basically, to get rid of somebody. The tyrant cruelly disposed of all his enemies. Тиран жестоко избавился от своих врагов. То есть here we have second meaning of the word dispose means to kill. Okay, again, that was a very sad picture. That's more of a neutral picture. Reservoir, and it's important to pronounce the word correctly. Reservoir, a place where a liquid is collected and stored. If you fly on an airplane above your city, you might see some water reservoirs, which are present almost in every city. But also there is another meaning we can use the word reservoir with. Let's say Mother Teresa had a great reservoir of love and patience. То есть у матери Терезы был большой резервуар, большой запас любви и сострадания. Love and patience. So Mother Teresa had a great reservoir of love and patience. Using the direct meaning of the word, we have a sentence, we have an example from your book. Cult members, some kind of a crazy people believing in some kind of a crazy religion, cult members, threatened, угрожали, to poison the town's water, отравить воду в городе, то есть town's water reservoir. Sorry, that was my cell phone beeping. I hate this. Oshka always sends some kind of a trash SMS. Okay. The next word is elementally, in terms of element, basically. When I think about the word elementally, the first thing that comes into my mind is, of course, a periodic table of elements. Those are the elements. And if you say elementally, it means in terms of elements. For instance, elementally, coal and diamonds are the same. Вот на уровне элементов уголь и бриллианты, они на самом деле одинаковые. Они состоят из углерода. The only difference is that carbon is arranged in a different order with diamonds rather than with the coal. То есть единственная разница в том, что сам углерод расположен другим способом. Частицы углерода, они расположены по-другому в самом бриллианте, нежели чем в угле. Хотя на самом деле и то, и другое сделаны из одних и тех же, как бы сказать, кирпичей, элементов. Elementally, coal and diamonds are the same. You can use in the everyday conversation the word elementally by saying basically. Well, basically, I do this video so that we save some time during the lesson. By watching this video, you can learn the words in advance. And then when you come to the class, we can either work on your questions or come down directly to the practice. So I can say the same sentence by saying that elementally I do this tutorials for you to save the time. Okay, let's move to another word. Extinction has nothing to do with instincts. This is extinction. A complete disappearance, the end of existence. Human beings have caused the extinction of many other species. When I think of extinction, the first thing that comes into my mind is, of course, dinosaurs that extincted the planet Earth, that completely disappeared. You can never see a dinosaur in modern life because they all gone for some reasons. So extincted means вымерли. Let's move to another word. Okay, shrink. Shrink means to become of a smaller size and to decrease in the size very rapidly. For example, here is the label, etiquette, the label from clothes. You can see at the label, and there is a sign of not washing that, not bleaching it, of course, and not washing that in a washing machine. So don't wash certain clothes in a washing machine. Why? Because after being in a washing machine, they reduce in their size. They become smaller. They are shrinkable, which is adjective. Shrinkable means that after washing, you're gonna get you're not gonna get the same sweater. You're going to get a sweater which is 2 times smaller than the one that you put inside of a washing machine. If you dry your clothing on the high heat setting, they may shrink to become smaller. Сжиматься, shrink. Okay, also emission, sending out from a small space into general environment, a substance discharged into the air, discharged, отправленное в воздух, субстанция отправленная, вещество отправленное в воздух, отправленное в общую environment, в общую окружающую среду. Emission — это на самом деле загрязнение. Вот, here is the picture of a pipe that emits CO2, carbon dioxide. То есть глагол emit — выделять. Those are the other pipes that also emit the CO2. And by the great emission, we contribute the global warming. And next, and the last word on the list for today is stable. It's adjectives: firm and dependable, showing a little change here. Okay, so here is the card house, and it is an example of something that is not stable. It is unstable structure. Any small slight wind or a draft — это сквозняк — any slight small draft can ruin this card house. So this is unstable. Also, if you remember that childhood fairy tale about 3 pigs and a wolf, and remember that all of each of the pig lived in his house, in a separate house, and the wolf came and destroyed those 2 houses because they were not stable structures. They were not stable houses. But the wolf couldn't destroy the 3rd house, which was built of a stone, and the wolf couldn't destroy that house because the house was more stable than 2 others. Okay, well, that's it for today. Please read also the book and memorize all the meanings of the words. Be ready to practice those words. Next time you come into the class, the first question I'm going to ask you is how you can use those words practically. So please think of the usage of those words in your daily conversations. You need to think how to incorporate the words stable, emission, shrinkable, shrunk, extinct to your daily vocabulary, and of course other words. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I'll see you in the classroom, guys. And don't be restricted by your laziness. Do your homework. Because if you don't do your homework, your level of knowledge will be depleted. And of course, I will not dispose of all the students that don't do my homework, but I will just don't work with the students who don't do their homework. And don't think that I'm just like a Mother Teresa who has a great reservoir of love and patience. I'm not like that at all, because I need to have people who do their homework in a stable way, which means every day they bring their homework done.